Yeah, welcome to the next seminar, the latest seminar by C1M with me, Richard. For those of you watching it in our community or on our community in Discord, feel free to add any questions or comments in the channel as the seminar goes on. Today I will be covering, what will I be covering? Cryptocurrency, funnily enough, reading the market and kind of going with the flow to make more dough. Or there's another saying, kind of your friend is, no, the trend is your friend until the end. So it's very much reading the markets, leading on from what I've discussed before with technical analysis. Just had a good question from one of the students about one of the trades I shared in the community. First of all, this seminar is just for educational purposes. Any trades we do or decisions you follow at your own risk. You can't hold me responsible for any losses, but I will happily take any credit for the profit that you may make. So this is today's seminar. It's going to be a combination of some educational material as well as just delving deeper onto Binance. So the last few days, well, last week, obviously crypto went up to Bitcoin went up to mid 50s. And then we've actually had the first correction in quite some time. So let's go on to Binance, and let's just start with a general kind of feel. You know, as a trader, you're coming on, you've got up in the morning, you're making a coffee or whatever. You've, of course, first come to Binance. What is immediately saying to me, okay, we have some green, everything's green, Bitcoin's going up. This is over the last 24 hours, so it's good to delve a bit deeper, but general, you know, things are green, aka things are moving up. So I will be more likely to be successful in trading or opening positions for longs as I will be to shorts. You know, it's just basic kind of going with the momentum of the market, of the coins. So it's a good way to get a feel for the market. What I am going to cover, and one of the students just asked about why I opened a short on a particular coin, which is a great question, you know, with what I've just said there. Why would I short something if the markets are going up? Well, my technical analysis, 1 minute. Let's just go on to 1 hour. And let's just talk through the markets as you come onto them. I'll then talk a bit more about the alerts and then kind of tie it in. So the alerts are something that we have running through. So again, if you're looking at this on Discord, brilliant. Fire away with any questions. If you've not seen the alerts, you can sign up to the trial. We've actually just made all educational material free on our website. So the only thing for the trial and for the paid product is for coaching sessions. If you've not had one of them, then get in contact one-on-one with either me, my brother, or Ben, and you get the alerts running through. If you're looking at this on YouTube, then below you'll see in the description, we will it tells you about C1M. But just head to c1m.io or just follow the link, which will take you to our website and give you all the information you need. And come and join us in Discord, where we have a growing community in there. So first of all, well, you can see I'm on 1 hour candles here. Let's zoom in, and you can see I've got lines everywhere. To a certain extent, you can't really go too much with lines. I've just been drawing here kind of resistance levels, support levels from previous time periods. If I come out onto a bigger picture, why do I generally start with Bitcoin? Well, this is what the seminar is about. It's going with the flow. So you go on to Binance, okay, most things are green, brilliant. That's generally because Bitcoin is going up. If Bitcoin is moving up, 95% of things are moving up. If Bitcoin is moving down, 95% of things are moving down. There are some exceptions, but it's good to have a feel of what Bitcoin has done or is doing. You know, if I come on and I'm like, right, I'm gonna do sorry, that's just my friend. That's actually my jiu-jitsu coach. I was just going to say, if I do an hour or two of, if I do a training session for an hour or two before my jiu-jitsu session, then I want to come on and I go, right, I'm going to sit here for an hour. What is Bitcoin going to be doing over the next hour? What is the market's going to be doing over the next hour? Which ties me into actually what one of the students have just asked. I have just posted in our community, which I do and will be doing more and more, I just posted in a great little short that I did on Binance Coin. So you may be wondering watching this, well, why have you just talked about going with momentums of the market? Why have you just shorted something? Why have I done that? Well, let me just show you this new line. And I go off the closing prices. You can see from this line that I've drawn, this is the resistance that I saw here. And also, since last night, barley time, green candle, green, 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 red doji, green, red doji, green, red doji. So it's been moving up without much resistance for quite some time. What goes up quite quickly will come down quite quickly. So I identify, just like here, if I brought this line across from this one, I identify certain support and resistance lines along the way. Again, if you're looking at this and you're like, wow, what is this guy talking about? Then this is all education that we have, and I do a section on technical analysis, which is to do with support resistance lines. It's to do with candles. It's to do with Bollinger Bands. It's to do with stochastic RSI. And all of these muddled together, or put together nicely, can give you a real feel for what a coin should do. So to answer my student's question, who said kind of with the Binance alert that came in, which was for a 1 hour interaction. It came through at 12 o'clock. Let me just pull up Binance Coin here. So the alert came through 1 hour and 20 minutes ago, and it was to do on the 1 hour candles with the upper Bollinger Band interaction. The question has been asked of why I would short it, which kind of ties in with why did I short it? If everything's going up. If everything is moving up, then especially if it's moving up without much resistance, then it's going to find resistance, which it is right now, and then it's going to come back down. There's going to be a small correction, and you can see that happening on Bitcoin now. This resistance that I've drawn across, it's not always going to be to the exact Satoshi or exact dollar amount, but you can see the sort of regions that I'm looking at where it's bounced off for support or resistance before. And again, it's struggling. We've had wicks coming through, and I believe now this will, and it's going to be coming down. So let's go on to Binance Coin. And the alert came through at 12 o'clock, so an hour and 20 minutes ago. Here, to do with a green and red Bollinger Band, upper Bollinger Band interaction. Let me just show you my thought pattern of what I looked at with this. So different things to look at. Going off the closing and opening prices here of this trend line. Look at here, this ascending trend line where it's found support here. 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 And then it's then piled through. So this is very bearish because it piled through this ascending trend line. But you can then extend this, what was acting as support will then act as resistance. So from two directions really, I can then show you what I looked at, and let's go this way. There, to there, to there, to there. It's coming to a point. This resistance line and this support line is coming to a point. It's going to go up or down. It broke through. It fell down. But you can carry it on. That it's dropped under and now it's coming back to this level where at 9 a.m. on the 28th of barley time. Why am I struggling to speak today? In barley on the 28th. At 8 a.m, we had some resistance here in this crunch spot where it then fell through. We've had no resistance. Up, 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 up. And then what's kind of said to me to open a short position was to do with, number one, it's just been going up and up and up and up, which is not a sign to short something. But this is a doji, but also we have these long wicks. Characteristics of a hammer candle, inverted hammer. Shows that over this 1 hour, the price has tried to be pushed up. But then over that 1 hour, it's been pushed back under, and it's actually closed under this resistance level. So that is why once this alert came in at 12 o'clock, so at the end of this 1 hour, at the start of this candle here, I opened a short and I secured 40% profit using 30 leverage. Within this 1 hour candle, there was 2.71%, so plenty of movement for that. Again, looking at that, on a day like today, you should just be really opening longs. You know, if your timing is not quite as good, your technical analysis is not always correct, go with the bigger time frame and go, look, right, this is green. It's gone up over 24 hours. This is moving up. So on the flip side of that, I would then go, right, Binance coin is looking good. This alert has come in from the upper Bollinger Band. I'm just going to give it a little bit of time, because what it's doing now, and where the alert came in, which was here, yes, we've had this downwards trend, but it's retraced back to the middle Bollinger Band. The 12 EMA is still above the middle Bollinger Band, which shows a bit of a bullish movement. So if you are wanting to go with the overarching flow of the coin, of the trend, then when the alert comes in, you don't act on it straight away. With the recommended price, with having the TPSL, which allows you to get in a bit under and put in your profit and stop loss and get in and out once the position is open without having to do anything, then you can shoot under. You know, if I was not so certain of this short and I'm thinking, right, Binance coin is coming up, but again, let's hit Bitcoin. It's hit this resistance, it's come down. We have the K over the D coming up. Some clear resistance you can see here, and this is on 1 hour candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hours after it coming up, it's struggling to get through this barrier, which is just a bit of, it alerts me to think, right, it's having some clear resistance. Chances are it's going to retrace back down on the bigger picture, back down probably to this sort of level, because what was acting as resistance, let's bring this down a little bit, is now acting as support. So I think that this, providing Bitcoin keeps doing what it's doing, sorry for the many lines, but get used to drawing them in. I think that Binance coin will do this. It will retrace, after going up for so long, it's going to retrace back down to this support, new support, which was resistance before, then a bit like a spring back, pull back, then keep going up. This is Bitcoin, sorry. But as you can see, a lot of the coins follow the flow of what Crypto Tone is in the building. I've muted you just because you talk too much. No, everybody's muted in here. It's all about me. I'm just talking about the flow, going with the flow of the market. Obviously, last night Bitcoin dropped, but it's still not bullish. You know, this is still the 24-hour change. Yes, it's gone up over the last 24 hours. Let's look at the bigger picture, people. And going with the flow of the markets. What are we seeing? Well, you can see that I've got lines coming everywhere. Let's get rid of some of these just so I can get rid of this. Why is this line here? This was my prediction to, I put it in our community to some of my friends and people that I've been speaking to. I do still think that, wow, there's a lot going on here. That around this area, yes, we're having a bit of a green candle. We have a Bollinger Band squeeze on the 1 day candles. But what I was just discussing with coins, it's just been going up and up and up and up. Here we had a small retrace, pull back, and up we went. It's going to be interesting to see what Bitcoin does, but it's still looking quite short-term wise, I still think a little bit bearish. We have a little bit of a correction that's happened. So it is to do with your strategy. If you're doing shorter-term scalp trading, then you want to be going with the shorter-term momentum. Again, you know, if you're spot trading, and you're going with the longer term momentum. That is just a lot of indicators and lines going on there. Binance coin. This is worrying for me. Well, not worrying, but get a feel for the candles. This is a 15-minute candle. I mean, you can see where my cursor is at here. This is the 15-minute candles. This is a high at this resistance that I was talking about. It's come down. It's trying again at this resistance. And with that, and actually with the 40% that I just made, I'm going to do a little trade on here. 22923. I'm going to, just with 20 leverage, I say just, that's still a hell of a lot. I'm going to, as always, just so I'm not paying more fees, going to go 223. I'm going to open a position to short this higher than what the current position is at. 223. Totals 8 Binance coin or so. You can see that my position will come in just here. Order submitted. And let's just watch this. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up just a template of the spreadsheet, some materials that we provide. It's coming down already. 222676, that is fine. Yeah, it's struggling to get through this resistance. I think with Bitcoin doing what it's doing, it's going to, yeah, that's nearly filled. That's good. Let me come on to, and again, this is all part of C1M. So again, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're thinking, wow, that looks amazing, then yes, just head over to c1m.io, and this is all educational material we have for you. 223 is what I'm trying to get in at. I'm going to be shorting. And I'm going to be going for a 2-to-1 ratio with 20 leverage. So with that, wow, that's just gone a little bit. 25. I'm going to go for 50% profit. 20x. Brilliant. Let's see. Have I filled? Oh, it's close. Yeah, again, same with Bitcoin. And I actually had it preemptively down here that we experienced this double top, then it's a sign that a second, I mean, there could be a third time, but on the second time here, it struggled to come through. This is still just, let me go 222. 222. Again, if any of you are watching this and you're trading with me, then you trade at your own risk, etc. I'm not going to use a TPSL on this because I'm trading on it and I'm using 20x. When I use high leverage, then, When I use high leverage, then I use a TPSL because then you're not frantically trying to put in your parameters as well. So 223 is what I've got in at. 30, 25 to 50. My short, my stop market, 225.78. 225.78. I'm going to put that just up a little bit, and I'll explain why. 226. This puts me just above where this previous high was on this candle. So if I am wrong, chances are it's not going to... Sorry, if I'm correct, it's going to continue down. It shouldn't go over the previous high of the previous candle. So I'm going to use a stop market. You can use a stop limit. Just be aware with bigger orders, bigger volume, that you know, you don't want it missing your order, which has happened and is not good. 226. I'm going to go off the last price. I'm going to go 100%, and that is in. So that is, and you'll see it come in here in just a moment. There we go. And now for my sell is at 217,425. 217,425. There we go. There was an alert that came through, which I've already traded off. It's come up. It's not quite got as high as before. It's at the same sort of resistance level. Wow, that should not be doing that. I need to let me get rid of that. Come on. Okay, so the order is in, and as always, the great thing is, well, I'm 10% down, that's not great, but I've got my position open, I've got my limit, I've got my stop market. If it supersedes and goes higher than this previous high, then it's finding support actually, and it's going to continue up. Maybe I got in on this a bit prematurely, which at times I can do, but it's good to show you a trade for you, those of you that are getting used to opening and closing positions. You can do it manually as I've just done, or you can use the TPSL, which allows you to do what I've just done and talk you through, but rather than opening a position, waiting for it to open and then putting in your profit and your stop loss, I could have put in my price 223, and as I did, I was waiting for it to open, put in my profit and my stop loss as well. So that's Binance Coin. Ruben, student-wise, for the one who asked the question, I hope that answers your question why I decided to short Binance Coin and make that trade. I mean, I got the 40% off it, and again, I shared that in the community. Very much just to do with the lack of resistance it's had coming up for so long. I think predominantly, let's say over the last few days, it's bearish, so it's moving down. So on that note, this upwards trend, in my eyes, is just a little bit of a correction before another downwards trend. And it's reaching previous, what was support, it's now finding resistance, which again is a bearish signal. If you're having previous resistance now that is acting as support, that is a bullish signal. As always, it's good to keep an eye on Bitcoin, seeing what it's doing. Let's go delve deeper onto the candle lengths here. And it's all relative depending on what time length you're looking at, depending on your strategy. What are you doing? Are you just holding it? Or are you going to sit down like me for an hour or two, use some leverage and get some shorter term trades and shorter term profits? Or do you want to use a bit less leverage and go, right, you know what? Let's use 10x. Let's use a TPSL. I think this is going to be going up on the bigger time frame. So let me just put in an order and just leave it. Let's just read Bitcoin now. Bitcoin, it's all charts, it's all candles. So let's put in another line. Why not? So since this rise up, what is Bitcoin doing? And why is it good to know about what Bitcoin is doing? Well, as I said in the beginning, if Bitcoin's moving up, things like to follow it. If Bitcoin is moving down, things like to follow it. So for me, doing a trading session, I like to have a rough idea of what I feel Bitcoin could, should, would be doing. This characteristics of a bit of a bull flag. It's going up, it's coming across. What do we have here? I would describe this as a bit like a head and shoulders. You have the flag or you have the shoulder. This is a shoulder. It's come down. This is the head. It's higher than the shoulder. Believe it or not, most people's heads are higher than their shoulders. That's why it's called the head and the shoulder, because it's characterized that as it then comes down, the next high, which is here, or here, or here, the next push up is not as high as the previous push up. And actually, it's the same sort of shoulder line as what was before. Even though it pushed through, it got pushed back under. Shoulder line, shoulder line. This is the head and shoulders. It's only on 5 minutes, so it's quite short time frame. We have a bounce off the support, a bounce off the support. It's come up, a bounce off the support. Well, now, as quickly as a coin comes up, it should come down. Like what I was talking about on the bigger picture with the time lengths. It's all relative now on 5 minute candles. This is quickly charged up and it's quickly charged down. A nice big red predominant candle. This green candle is not quite as much of a response as before. It's a bit of a response, but look what's happening now. What are we, 38? We're 3 minutes into this candle, almost 4 minutes. What is it doing? It's not really doing much. Just like here, it's gathering around this support line, which for me, just like with the resistance that I've outlined and with the flow, go with the flow to get more dough. This flow is, it's hugging this support line now, and it's the laws of probability. With any chart pattern you're looking at, any resistance, any support lines, if it's a bottom, a double bottom, triple bottom, quadruple bottom, it's only going to do that so many times, and the more times it's done it, the less likely it is to hold next time. AKA, if this holds here and goes up, then I think it's going to be a continuation signal. Up we go, because it's then not followed the head and shoulders suit pattern, and it's the Bitcoin, which can be influxes of mega amounts of money. You know, Elon Musk just has to sit there and tweet probably Bitcoin, and this will go surging through the roof. But look, red candle, green, red. It's not as much of a response as here. So I'm pretty sure, again, I could be wrong, that Bitcoin is going to be coming down. What does that mean then for the position that we're in? You can see, just like Bitcoin is doing, Binance coin is a bit unsure at the moment. Maybe I open my position a bit too soon. I mean, I can do that at times. We all can. But it's holding here, and it's really lost this upwards momentum, which is an area of a way to identify a trend reversal for the short-term time period. We have the 12 EMA. It's under the middle Bollinger Band. Here it's over. We're moving up and up and up and up and up. It's come under. We move down. It's come over the middle Bollinger Band. It's now back under. It's now the middle Bollinger Band and the 12 EMA are now crossing over the 50 length moving average, which, again, just like some of my fantastic announcements I put out in the community, if I do say so myself, is a good way to understand, right, is Bitcoin going to be moving up short term, or is it going to be moving down? I think this is going to be dropping very shortly, so therefore the knock-on effect that will have, and why I could have probably waited a bit to get in on this trade, or open this position, is that it's going to pull some of these bigger altcoins down with it. What's Bitcoin doing? Okay, it's still just hovering around here. You can see what I mean with just getting a feel and a flow of the market and the coin. If you've got a green, red, you know, there's a lot of it's allowance, if you could say that, well, there's not much resistance, not much support. It's just going up and down, people opening long support, etc., longs and shorts. You know, when we then start to look at these crunch spots with resistance levels, then that's when things definitely do get a bit interesting. And my internet is interesting. Definitely is struggling with some. For those of you that are in the seminar as well, if you've got any more questions, feel free to pop them in. What I'm going to do is just round it off if my Binance screen ever loads up. 2% in profit. Pow, 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 pow. I'm just going to stay looking at Bitcoin then. We can kind of end it with this for now. But it's all relevant with, again, depending on what plan, what strategy you're looking for. For those of you that are on your trial or are pro members, you know, if you're not utilizing your one-to-ones, we're having more and more bookings, which is great. But it's kind of like this, but we can do it specific to your plan, to your strategy. And depending on what your strategy is, I would say different things in terms of leverage to use, percentages to go for, trades to do per day. Again, this is all kind of taken care of in our calculator and educational materials that we have for you guys. You know, it's still hovering around this point here. It's still unsure what to do. My internet is still unsure what to do, which is great. So, sadly, I don't think we're going to see the end of this. I'll post out the result in our community with what Bitcoin is going to do, with what Binance can do, is going to do. You can already see with my line here what I think it's going to do, but it's still not for certain. So no one has any questions, I'm going to go and throw my internet box out the window and get a new one, because it's definitely clogging up a little bit. Thank you very much for joining the seminar. I'm going to prolong the ending of this because I think as it's ending, it's going to drop through this support. And therefore, oh God, that is just absolutely appalling. Oh, we're loading. What are we thinking about, Binance? Come on. Well, anyway, I'm safe in assuming and knowing that if when Bitcoin drops here, I'm going to get, what, $140 odd pop up here? Because Bitcoin's going to drop. Binance will then follow. And then that will be a trade made while showing you certain things. Let's delve deeper. Chart patterns, candle patterns. Get used to looking at certain candles, 4 hours I love, 1 hour, 15, 5 and 1. If you're sat and listening to that going, holy crap, then you don't need to listen to or look at all that. I mean, listen to me if you can, that would be great. But keep it simple. 1 minute candles I like. They're a bit intense, but I get used to looking at them. And again, you can just see, just like what Anthony was trying to show me here, what Anthony was trying to show me with Binance Coin is that here we have a descending resistance line. It's going down, it's coming up, down, up, down, up. If this then starts to, if these red 1 minute candles, oh sorry, not, it's the green, if it starts to then have a doji and then a green candle, well it's broken this descending trend line and it's starting to curve up and therefore move up. So it is all relative, but just be aware with 1 minute candles is it can be very exciting because you may see a green candle and be like, oh shit, it's going up. But that's only for a minute. If you're looking at 15-minute candles, which probably one of my favorite candle lengths to look at, 15 minutes and 1 hour. Same with the alerts coming through on Discord. The 1 hour alerts I love. Just with what I discussed at the start of this seminar. Looking at the bigger picture on 1 hour and then going into the smaller time frame. 15 minutes, 5 minutes are really good as well. Hate to state the obvious, it's 5 1 minute candles, so it's not quite as crazy, but it gives you a bit of a shorter term view on what is going on. That's weird. Binance is, it clearly doesn't want me to answer your question, Tony. Binance, Bitcoin is moving around and allow me to change. But Binance Coin is not. Well, look at that. Look at that white line I've drawn. I know I've drawn several, so I'm going by laws of probability a bit following one of them. But resistance line, support line. Here we go, a long wick. What's going on here? Head and shoulders. It's struggling to go up. Oh, it's coming down. It's trying to go back up. It's not gone up as much. It's coming down. Here we are at this crunch spot. Crunch spot? Crunch. Crunchy. Binance Coin is an amazing coin. It's probably just struggling because everybody is just loving Binance Coin. 11% in profit. Well, isn't that convenient? Bitcoin is still not sure. For those of you, I know a couple of you have just joined the seminar. I'll be posting this up later. If there's no more, reload the Binance tab. Yes. Oh, you're so wise. I'm going to reload it. I've tried it, Command R. Let's go. Let's go, Binance. What's Bitcoin doing? What are the moving averages doing? Look at this, the middle Bollinger Band based off a 20-length moving average. You can see, or I hope you can see, the middle band. And this is what we talk about with kind of looking at the behaviors of coins. The middle band is moving up. The coin is moving up. The middle band is going sideways. We get a bit of a channel going on. The middle band is starting to move down. The moving averages are starting to move down. So the coin is moving down. Yeah, thanks for... Oh, something's happening. Something's happening. So, again, I don't trade Bitcoin hardly at all. Mainly because, like with the comparison to spot trading to futures trading, spot trading doesn't have the psychological aspect of the longs and the shorts and perpetual contracts where, people are after your contract, your money, so there are chart patterns, there are indicators where, right, it looks to be going up. And I saw some of the comments in our community, with alerts, it looks to be doing this, and then it does the opposite. Focus more or think more of the psychological aspect of it. If things or shit looks too good to be true, then it could be, if it's looking, wow, that's a beautiful continuation signal. It's going up and up and up. And then all of a sudden, boom, red. It's because it's being allowed to go up. There's no resistance. It's up. A dump is coming soon. Yeah, I've refreshed it, but still no joy. I'll post in the community what the outcome was of the trade. I am very sure in knowing that it's going to be a successful trade, and also what happens with Bitcoin. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you just joined, we covered cryptocurrency, reading the market, going with the flow, just for educational purposes. I'm Richard, I'm from C1M, me and my brother created it. Check out the description below if you're watching on YouTube. Head over to our website. All the education is for free. Takes you from knowing nothing to knowing what you need to know to be able to trade on futures. Join our community and come and get involved with the chat, the alerts and everything. So thanks for joining, people. I'll be doing a seminar tomorrow. I don't know what on yet, so feel free to message me and I will do it. I'll be doing a seminar tomorrow morning to accommodate some of my Mexican friends and people in America, which the time difference is not quite good for now. So yes, happy trading. As always, get in contact if you want any questions, more information, and I will see you for the seminar tomorrow. Thank you.